Look at this time lapse of a modern logistics park waking up. For European businesses, this kind of heavy operational scale is about to intersect with a massive wave of 2026 EU funding designed to modernize regional infrastructure. The capital allocation is highly targeted. Right now, there is a dedicated €130 million non-reimbursable grant specifically mapped out to help freight transport companies transition to zero-emission fleets. But standing between a business owner and that capital is a strict bureaucratic wall, the eligibility discovery phase. Traditionally, finding out if your company even qualifies means pulling yourself away from your daily operations to manually read through 150-page government guidelines. The alternative is hiring a consultant. You hand over your company details and wait 48 hours while they manually cross-reference your data just to give you a baseline yes or no answer on whether you can apply. SmartAccess AI was built by ALFA CUBE Consulting to bypass that wait. It uses an automated evaluation engine to give you that exact same baseline answer instantly. This structure creates a question of intent. We need to determine if this platform functions as a rigorous diagnostic tool or a digital net designed primarily for business data collection. To find out, we have to map the exact boundaries of the platform. We need to see where its automation succeeds and where human expertise is still strictly required. In a highly competitive grant space, the time you waste figuring out if you are eligible is the literal difference between securing your capital and missing a strictly enforced application window. The entire infrastructure starts at the eligibility gateway, where you input your company data. The system asks for specific operational identifiers. You must provide your CANE code, the official classification of your economic activity, along with your tax ID and basic financial metrics from the last 2 years. This platform runs a strict validation algorithm in the background that actively rejects fake tax codes or non-existent financial data before it lets you proceed. This flowchart illustrates the resulting engine. Once your raw data clears the validation filter, the system instantly splits it and maps it against active programs, generating a personalized list of regional and national funding lines that match your exact profile. Here is the direct trade-off for the business owner. You trade your verified business profile for speed. You get a customized eligibility report delivered straight to your inbox instantly, bypassing all consulting fees and waiting periods. And here is the trade-off for the consulting firm. ALFA CUBE receives that same verified data node into their market intelligence database, giving them highly qualified insight into what types of funding businesses are actively seeking. They aggregate this behavioral data across thousands of searches to map actual, verified market demand by region and industry long before the official government funding calls open. Traditional consulting relies on subjective intuition to guess what clients might want. This system replaces that guesswork with hard, data-driven intelligence. It is a mutually beneficial transaction. The business owner entirely eliminates initial discovery friction for free, and the consulting agency builds a highly targeted pipeline of actual market demand. Once you know what you are eligible for, you still have to navigate the official documentation. The platform approaches this by stripping away administrative noise. A standard government funding guide averages between 80 and 150 pages of dense technical requirements. SmartAccess AI replaces those massive documents with digital info cards. Look at this side-by-side comparison. The system extracts the towering stack of bureaucratic paperwork into the clean summary card on the right. It isolates only the variables you need: total budgets, funding intensity percentages, and specific eligible activities. It also tracks the life cycle of the grant in real time. The card automatically updates the status, showing when a program moves from public consultation to open, and eventually to budget depleted. If you have questions about those variables, the ecosystem includes AlphaBot, a specialized natural language AI trained specifically on European funds. ALFA CUBE placed rigid internal evaluation guardrails on the bot. If it encounters missing information, it asks the user for clarification rather than assuming an answer, actively preventing AI hallucinations. It is technically constrained to cross-reference your questions exclusively against the updated official government guides. It does not pull vague summaries from general internet searches. But this reveals the platform's critical limitation. The chatbot is built to deliver concrete factual rules. It possesses zero capacity to help develop the competitive strategy required to structure your actual project. The AI parses technical rules into plain language instantly, but it lacks the logic to build the competitive strategy required to actually win the grant. That boundary defines exactly what SmartAccess AI actually is. It is an infrastructure of decision, not a replacement for a human consultant. We can map this on an effort to impact quadrant chart. First, the manual discovery zone, high effort, low impact. Next, traditional consulting, higher impact but slow and costly. Finally, SmartAccess AI in the AI discovery zone, high speed, accurate validation without spending a dime. However, the platform is inadequate if you expect it to draft legal documentation for free. That high-effort, high-impact implementation phase belongs exclusively in the retained human execution zone. Optimizing a project's scoring matrix, managing public procurement compliance, ensuring physical execution matches the paperwork, mandates dedicated human expertise. There is a hard boundary between software automation identifying the rules and professional consulting services executing the work. Use the AI for what it is built for, filtering thousands of pages to find a specific match for your company's profile. But when the focus shifts from finding the fund to winning the application, the transition to human expertise is mandatory.